Darren Cruzan was teary-eyed when he delivered his retirement speech to family and colleagues at a gathering in Washington, D.C., last May. He was ending a 26-year career in federal law enforcement, more than half with the Interior Department, and was proud of his tenure as an administrator. "If I were to go back and rewrite my entire life and career from beginning to now, I might change a few punctuation marks," he said at the time. "But the things that really mattered could have hardly worked out to be better. I really do believe greater things are still to come. In fact, more was to come." Less than 2 months after retiring, Cruzan was back on the federal payroll as a private contractor. He was hired by the very agency for whom he worked to review 16 in-custody deaths at tribal detention centers. At least 2 of them and as many as 11 happened on Cruzan's watch, according to Interior Department records. "It just seems like a slap in the face," said Chris Yazzie, a former correctional officer whose brother died in 2017 in the Shiprock District Department of Corrections facility in New Mexico. "It's really an insult to the people who died in these jails. This whole situation needs to be reviewed by Congress." An NPR and Mountain West News Bureau investigation published in June found a pattern of neglect and misconduct that led to inmate deaths at tribal detention centers overseen by the Interior Department's Bureau of Indian Affairs. At least 19 men and women have died since 2016, the review found. Yazzie's brother, Carlos, died after law enforcement failed to get him immediate medical attention when he was arrested on a bench warrant. His foot was swollen and his blood alcohol content was nearly 6 times the legal limit. Instead, they put him in a cramped isolation cell and left him unmonitored and unchecked for 6 hours. A guard handing out inmate jumpsuits the next morning found the 44-year-old day laborer from the Navajo Nation dead. The investigation also found that correctional officers were poorly trained. 1 in 5 had not completed the required basic training, which includes CPR, first aid and suicide prevention. Also, correctional officers at several detention centers often violated federal policy and standards by not checking on inmates regularly or ensuring that they received medical care. And several of the detention centers had been in disrepair for years, with rust in the water, broken pipes and overflowing toilets. At least one jail lacked potable drinking water, forcing jail administrators to turn to charities for bottled drinking water.